Good evening, and welcome to this evening's episode of Film Noir Friday. Now, this evening I have a movie called Possessed that I am going to be talking about. It came out in 1947. It's directed by Curtis Bernhardt, starring Joan Crawford, Van Heflin, and Raymond Macy, to name a few. I just want to say I am a huge fan of Joan Crawford. I absolutely loved her films. Her as a person might be a different story, but as of her films, I loved her films. Here is the plot. Found wandering the streets, very disoriented, a woman recounts the story of how she got there to a psychiatrist. Notes. At the 20th Academy Awards, not 2020, the actual 20th airing, Joan was nominated for Best Actress for this film, but lost to Loretta Young in The Farmer's Daughter. Favorite quote of the movie. It was pain that made her this way. Only through greater pain and suffering beyond belief can she get well again. Unquote. Now here is my points, my review of the film. I love the camera angles in this film. Joan steals the show with her acting in this film. Doesn't she always? It is phenomenal. Although the movie is slow at times, it was still a good story that always kept me wondering what was going to happen next. There's a lot of face slapping in this movie. Like people getting slapped in the face like left and right in this movie. I don't know what that's all about. Joan really plays this role of mental illness perfectly. You never heard of mental illness back in those days, and watching her play it out back then was a real eye-opener for me. Although I liked this film, I don't feel it is a true film noir. Even though it is classified as a film noir, for some reason I just don't understand why. I'm guessing because of the camera work, the dark shadows, the dark lights. As we've mentioned, it is very dark, and the dark subject matter of mental illness that Joan's character has in this film. It's just watching this film and watching her play that role. She played it so good that you forget that she's just an actress playing that role. She plays it so good that you feel like she's an actual person and you're watching her, this mental breakdown and this mental illness. And Joan was so good for that. Joan put so much emotion and drama into all of her films. If you've ever seen another Joan Crawford film, you know what I'm talking about. The woman was an exceptional actress back in the day. She really was. And she played another role in the film Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, where she didn't have mental illness. Well, yes, I think she did. I think towards the end. I'm not going to give it away, though, because that is another really good film that you should check out with Bette Davis. Oh, another one of my favorite actresses, Bette Davis. Who doesn't love Bette Davis, right? Anyway, so this film I highly recommend. You can find this film on Tubi, Tubi. It is under the film noir category. It is called Possessed. Now, let's step aside for a minute. Now, if this movie would have come out in recent years called Possessed, let's see, we would have had her rolling on the ground, acting like a fool, spitting up, the whole Exorcist type of thing. Or these weirdo movies that keep coming out like The Possession of So-and-so. And it's the same concept every single film. The same thing happens. A chick claims she's possessed by a demonic demon. They come in, they perform an exorcism, and she kills people and this and that and the other. It's just so stupid. Like, I can't tolerate it anymore. So when I seen this title and I saw that Joan Crawford was in it, I was like, okay, because I'm still thinking that's what it's going to be about, right? So I'm thinking, okay, well, I've never known Joan to play a role like that. I didn't know a movie like that would even exist back in 1947. So, okay, I'm definitely glued. Like, I want to know what's going to happen here, right? So then once I watched it and I realized that what they were trying to say was she wasn't possessed by a devil. She was possessed by mental illness. And that took a whole different turn for me. Because when you hear, oh, somebody is possessed, you're thinking, or you make a joke like, dude, are you possessed? Like, what the heck? Like, you're thinking of by a demon. You don't think about possessed by mental illness, which is also very dark. And it was just, like I put in the notes, it was a huge eye-opener for me. I never thought of it that way until I saw this film. So I highly recommend that you watch this film. It is so good. All right, that's going to do it for tonight's Friday Film Noir. Stay tuned next week when I will have a whole new episode and a whole dark other feature. Thank you for watching.